Trigger warning, this channel may feature content depicting graphic images and discussion of subject matter that may be disturbing to some people. I do discuss criminal cases, analyze evidence, and I do say swear words sometimes because I'm a nasty little banshee and I'm sorry. All data within is open sourced and all commentary is my opinion. Don't sue me. I got nothing. I only encourage ethical OSINT. I discourage doxing, and all how-to videos are for educational research purposes only. Happy snooping, and remember, everything is alleged. Also, every now and then, when things get a little dark and depressing, because we are talking about the crime, I'm going to give you some eye bleach time. We might pop in here and there with a little palate cleanser of a cute little puppy or a funny video, just so that we don't sink into a dark and deep, deep depression. Also, you can follow me now on multiple forms of social media. That's right. I got in there like a scavenger to pick the bones. I am now on X, aka Twitter, as Oblivious Benson. I am also on TikTok as Oblivious Benson, and I am on Reddit as Oblivious Benson. All of these are me. I am myself. Do not be scared, friend. You can also email me at obliviousbensonquestion@gmail.com if you would like to send me anything cool that you want me to see. Right now, I'm collecting your suggestions for a new series that I want to start where I want to react to news from different states to see who has the craziest true crime news. This can be anything crime related, anything from the news. It can be a news report, or it can be like an interrogation video, or maybe you just have something you want me to read out loud to people, but just indicate what state it's from and send it to my email and I will be happy to review it. All right. You can also follow me, obviously, on YouTube. All likes and subscriptions are appreciated. And you know what else is appreciated? Money. Because I just found out that vet bills are very expensive. I did not know they were that expensive. I just got my Hugin a few months ago. He's been with us almost a year. And he likes to eat, and he likes to poop, and he likes bacon snackies. So if you want to donate to him, you can go to Buy Me a Coffee, or you can Cash App me, and all of your funds will go to his veterinarian, who gives him delicious snackies that are healthy for him and who provides him with heartworm medication. I love my dog, and normally I don't ask for donations, but this does take a lot of time to edit, and some of you asked me for a way to donate, so here it is. There you go. Next up, I want to say hello, Snoopy Doopas. How are you doing today?
And now it's time for true crime news, rants, and opinions with a very fussy lady who is complaining for entertainment purposes only, and everything she says is alleged, and please do not sue her. She has nothing.
Okay, look, there is a lot going on in true crime right now, and it's too much to handle, and I have to rant about it. I have to rant and rave. Because if not, I will melt into an insufferable pile of meat. I'm literally losing my mind right now. There's so much going on in true crime, in cases, in cold cases, in everything, and I have to talk about it. Initially, this was going to be an intro to a really cool video where I show you how to use a free tool to catch killers online. And I also was going to make fun of a lady. That was going to be fun. I was going to bully a sham expert and then show you a unique tool. The proper way to use it. I set up 3 screens for this. And then I recorded what was supposed to be a 5-minute intro, turned into a 40-minute rant, you guys. Maybe longer, I don't know. I'm not good at math. Because I went off. And while I wanted to just give you a couple of news updates, I gave you too many, and so fuck it. It's its own video now. I said a bad word. Anyway, I don't apologize. I say bad words. If you don't, what's wrong with you? You apologize to me. You apologize to me for not being a filthy little banshee. No, in all seriousness, I curse a lot, but I am going to make videos where I don't curse, so you guys can listen to it at work. I hear you, I feel you, I get your emails, I want to make you happy, but, just like I told my parents, listen, you're going to be disappointed a lot. In all seriousness, I got a lot to say. There are so many updates and news stories and things that I want to talk to you about, that I want to recommend to you. Things that just have to do with cases that need updating or I just want to shout about. So that's what this is. This is just the weekly news. I'm trying to do the news of the week once a week in addition to the other content, especially the OSINT stuff. And the video teaching you that tool is coming. It's going to be in 2-3 more days around, maybe even tomorrow if I can get the editing done in time. But it's a lot. It's a very long, very technical video. So I thought, let's just make it its own. And let's keep this one, little news updates and stuff, let's keep it its own thing. I want to talk about first, give you this update. There is a case here in Austin that is insane. It just happened. I'm going to pull it up for you to see. I'm going to show you everything right now. I'm going to tell you what I know. It's not much, but it is so odd. Okay, so the Austin Police Department is currently dealing with a case. It involves a 35-year-old woman. Her name is Elizabeth Spalding, okay? We're going to put a picture of her up here alongside her sister, Sarah Spalding. Now, these are twins. They're 35-year-old twins. According to their Facebook, all their socials, like, these women have lived in, I believe, Saudi Arabia. They've lived in Pennsylvania. They've lived in Chicago, Malibu. They once we'll get to that. First, let's just talk about they're twins. They're beautiful. Look at them. Wow, beautiful ladies. 35. Elizabeth is 5'5" tall. She weighs 120 pounds. They have blonde hair and blue eyes. Now, the reason I say they is because these two women were out, these twins, Elizabeth and Sarah, downtown 6th Street area, which is not the best area right now, if you don't know. Extremely high crime area. There are some homeless shelters in the area that are also riddled with fentanyl right now that is killing a lot of people. And it's so bad that they actually went and told all the comedy clubs. They warned the comedy clubs. Like, I'm friends with the managers. They warn them. Tell even the comics don't fuck with any drugs down here. Not only that, but homeless people down there can get very aggressive, and also just anybody down there. Like, a lot of people have been hit by cars. One guy died. 2 guys died, actually, getting hit by a car again at South by this year. Cars going through crowds seems to be a tradition now, and it sucks. There are a lot of gangs down there. There are a ton of shootings. It's like every other day, it seems like. Not just 1 or 2 people, but crowds. Like, it's really crazy the amount of violence down there. So these women were down there at the beginning of this month, okay? So we're talking about May 5th. This is on a Sunday, Saturday and Sunday. They're downtown, right? So Saturday, May 4th, they're downtown. They're going to bars and nightclubs, okay? These twins. Sunday, they were at St. David Hospital's emergency room at some point, but were discharged around 4 a.m. So Saturday night after midnight, they somehow end up at the hospital together, these twins, from being downtown. And then they were discharged from St. David's Hospital, which is not too far from downtown. It's about a mile or 2, depending on which one they went to, but really it's just like couple miles either way, like less than 5. They end up at the hospital. They're there until about 4 a.m. They get discharged in the middle of the night. 4 a.m., so early Sunday morning. While Elizabeth's sister Sarah returned home later that morning, she has no memory of Elizabeth's whereabouts or how they got separated. So they're both discharged at 4 a.m. One of them ends up home, Sarah, and does not recall what happened to Elizabeth, her twin. She is still missing. We're going on 10 days later. And this tiny little blonde lady, who was in the hospital for something, we don't know what, is out of the hospital but missing. And her twin sister is at home going, I don't remember how we got separated after we left the hospital. To me, we've got no record of this, but just my immediate first thoughts when I saw this was, did somebody drug them? How did they get separated after they left the hospital? We also had an Uber driver who was taking off with women in the car and assaulting them. I believe he's in jail now, but it's a prevalent issue here, it seems. Rideshare problems, gang problems, a lot of problems with violent crime out of nowhere, particularly involving machetes. Okay, so again, while Elizabeth's sister returned home later that evening, this is Sunday, May 5th from St. David's, she has no memory of Elizabeth's whereabouts or how they got separated. That's super weird. However, what's even weirder is that this exact same thing happened to these twins in Chicago over a decade ago. One of them went missing after having a fight for a while, was reported missing, and then they were reunited. The same pair, Sarah and Elizabeth. So now fast forward, was it 12 years later? I think this was 2012. We'll post the article. If I'm wrong, it'll show it, but I'm pretty sure it was 2012. They are now separated again in Austin, totally new city, also a missing persons report. There was no fight reportedly this time that we know of. There are no leads. According to the Facebook they both have Facebooks, but one of them it shows both of them on Facebook, and it indicates, living out of Malibu. But here it says home as if it were Austin. It's a bit of a confusing case. There's not much more information out than that. I'll post all the information that's available here, but it's very, very strange. And, no one has seen her. She's a very tiny lady. If you're in the Austin area or really anywhere in Texas, even up to Houston, San Antonio, Dallas, if you see this woman, call. Let's hope that, she's found. It's very strange that this has happened before. It worries me that it's going to make people go, oh, well, this already happened and she was found, so she'll be found again. This is not a place for someone that looks like her to go missing in the area she went missing. It's pretty freaky deaky, and there's a lot of other cases with women who are a similar age range, even kind of look like her from 20 years ago that are still missing. Patty Swinburne, look at Loretta Lynn Roberts, who ended up dead. Roxanne Paltoff is missing. There's a lot of missing women from this area. This is strange. It's been 10 days. Where the fuck is she? Anyway, that's what's going on right now here. And if you haven't seen it, look it up. And if we don't have a resolution by the next video, we're going to talk about it. We'll probably go in depth on it because I'm intrigued. This is weird. Anyway, next story. There's so much content to go over with you. If you are not following the Karen Read case, you're fucked. What are you doing? Follow the Karen Read case. It is insane. It is absolute anarchy. It is Vietnam, ladies and gentlemen. There are no rules anymore. Judge Bev, old Auntie Bev, is clearly reading Twilight, heavy breathing on the stand. Something's going on. Is it 50 Shades of Bev? I don't know. Does she need a getaway at the cod? I don't know. But something's going on. Beverly breathes too heavy. We need to check her salts. Something's up. A lot has happened. If you haven't been following it, follow it, because Melanie Little is covering the shit out of it. Okay? She is covering this case I can't even think of a good metaphor. She's just covering it. She's got it. She's got it on lockdown. I'm so tired, you guys. And I have horrible allergies right now. Texas we just had a ton of rain. It's very humid. It's very hard to breathe. I keep getting redness in my eyes. So if blood just shoots out of my eye, that's probably what that is. It's probably allergies. My dog ate a bee today. He seems fine. So I guess he's not allergic to bees. I think it's just when they sting you. But I guess if you eat them, is it the same? I don't know. He seems okay. But it's been a high stress week. And this Karen Read case, there's nothing more that I love to do than add more stress. Let's get it stressed out. Let's see what we can take. This case is insane. Karen be like this. This is what this case be like. Go follow Melanie Little. She's covering the hell out of it. The reason it is on our updates. Hold on, I'm going to sneeze. Oh, fuck. I'm good. I got it. Good. Okay, so the reason that we're talking about this and it's in this week's news, because usually I wouldn't even bother, is because this happened. This really fucking happened, ladies and gentlemen. Check this out. This happened.
Who was present for that interview?
Me, my husband, Trooper Proctor, and Trooper Bukaki. Oh, and you, my friend, would be the belle of the ball. Don't drop the soap.
Now, if you don't know what bukkake is, if you aren't aware of why calling a man Officer Bukkake was a major flub and particularly embarrassing, here is what bukkake means. It is a sex act in which one participant is ejaculated upon by multiple participants. It is often portrayed in pornographic films. Why do they say films? Like, films sound so professional. So films sounds like there's going to be a festival. You know? People are going to come out in fancy hats and they're going to golf clap for a movie. A film, they shouldn't call it porno films. I like flicks. Flicks makes sense. It's also a double entendre. It's also a pun. It's a whatever. It's a, what is it called? A euphemism. A film, it makes me think that I'm about to watch like fucking Citizen Kane or something. What's going on here? Julie Albert said Officer Bukkake, which proves two things. Number one, she has probably only had sex with her husband in her entire life. I'm just guessing. Like, how do you not know what that means? I guess, well, some of you don't know because you're decent humans. That's fair enough. From what I've seen of her testimony, not so much over here. So I'm pointing at the screen with her big mug on it. She kind of looks like one of those skeletons from Nightmare Before Christmas. And I know that that's really mean to say, but I don't take it back. My God, this woman is so unlikable. And baby Brian Jr. was so likable. He was trying to grow a mustache. It was adorable. His sister Caitlin, when she got called high maintenance, made me like Tristan. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I could be talking about Vanderpump Rules by the way I'm naming these people. It has become a soap opera. It is a telenovela. And Julie is the woman who attacks the wheelchair daughter, as far as I'm concerned.
No se te ocurriera poner los ojos en él. ¡Y los pusiste! ¡Escuincla babosa! ¡Te atreviste! ¡Pero te va a pesar! ¡Te va a pesar! Te voy a dar una paliza que no vas a olvidar en tu vida inválida del demonio. ¡Déjala sola! ¡No se le ocurra pegarle! ¡Quítate, escuincle feliz! ¡Quítese, vieja zorra! ¡Te la voy a... ¡Por favor! ¡Te la voy a matar! ¡No, por favor! ¡No, Dios mío! ¡Cállate! ¡Tú besándote con mi hombre! ¡No, por favor! ¡Ya mi propia casa!
Anyway, the other thing that it proves is that this Julie chick has been watching the shit out of Turtle Boy. What fun wordplay. Do you hear my dog snoring? I don't know if you will, but it is horrendously loud because he is having the best dreams, the best puppy dreams. Anyway, Bukkake, Officer Bukkake. So Turtle Boy calls this cop that, and now she's saying it on the stand. She has apparently watched so much Turtle Boy, Julie, that she is now calling these officers by their Turtle Boy street names. God bless her. Bless her heart, as we say in the South. Bless your heart, ma'am. Oh, bless your little heart. I also got to talk about, as far as true crime news of the week goes, this isn't really the week so much as the month, but maybe even longer. It's probably been 2 months now. I'm catching up on this podcast from Goldsboro, North Carolina. Who killed Beth Ellen? Who killed Beth Ellen Vincent? Who? We need to know. We need to find out. It's been 30 damn years. One of her friends who has been, again, doggedly, I love that word now, doggedly, like a fucking, a truffle pickedly, I would say if it didn't sound bad. But really, just snooting out the tips. This wonderful woman messaged me. You know, it's fascinating to me, by the way, how many people I've met, through the email. From Melanie, Ron, Rock Chalk's chat. Shout out to all three of them, the triumvirate, who I adore. I met so many of y'all through the side chats, and just in general, you've been kind enough to come to my page again. Thank you. And some of you emailed me, and one person who did was a woman who worked on this. And I think I even mentioned in a prior episode, I think maybe the first or second even, about how there had been a couple of people that we'd already worked together and found some resolutions to some things. In that episode, I discuss a woman who reached out to me And we did some research and we found that there's a Howard Stern tie-in to the case. That's this one. That's Beth Ellen. So a fantastic private investigator named Matt Huff. I don't personally know that he's fantastic. I just think he's fantastic for taking on this endeavor after 30 years, for caring. That's what they need. They need eyes on this case. They need people to care. Beth was a dancer who was 17 when she went missing. She left her house in a small town near Raleigh, North Carolina, to go find the big lights in the bright city one summer before her senior year, try to get some connections for her dance career. She ended up staying with a boyfriend at the time in a house with some people that summer. And while her family, she's a very conservative Christian family, and, you know, they wanted her to go to school, get her degree in college, live her life, do things how conservative Christian families want you to do it. And Beth wanted to dance. She wanted to dance. Sometimes they just don't agree with dancing. Now, I don't know if that's the underlying purpose or reason why completely. She could have had her own reasons. Maybe she just had a rogue summer. You know, but she had planned, instead of officially moving after that summer and dropping out of school, she decided, no, fuck that. I'm going to go back and finish my senior year. I'm smarter than this. Let's go do this. So she starts getting ready to go do that. And she's packing her car. Her car is packed up. She's spoken to her family. They think she's intending to come back home after spending a summer with a couple boys a little bit older. Not super older, like maybe a year or two. One of them called himself her boyfriend. We've since found out from people close to her that maybe not likely so. She goes out one night to dance for a company that promoted kind of in-person sexy dances. But not as they claim. It wasn't prostitution. It was literally, it wasn't even escorting. It was like getting a lap dance at your hotel. And you could hire girls on the phone through a 1-800 number. Well, you know, Beth Ellen was in a tight spot. Allegedly, she, you know, may have perhaps presented her age as a bit older to get this job. She doesn't make it to one of those calls one night. Her car is found abandoned with the lights on and a shoe like fucking Cinderella. It's so sad. Her body was found down the road. The lights were on. The car was on. The CD was playing. It was Green Day. She is found in between two buildings in a neighboring city. Pretty close by. Like, not too, a bit down, but not too far. You know? A couple miles down the road. I'll get specific. You get specifics. Go listen to the podcast. They explain it all. But Matt's handling the case now. There's a lot of interest brewing, and there needs to be more. Go listen to this podcast. I'm going to put all the information on the screen. Follow them on Twitter. I can't wait to hear it all. I'm catching up on it now, but I plan on promoting the shit out of it because I've spoken directly. I've heard the whole story. I've gone through a shitload of research on this case, along with a family member or a friend. Sorry. And now there's a PI involved with the family that is making a podcast about it. Perfect. What a time to be alive. Let's get this ball rolling, people. Give them listens. Go follow them. I cannot recommend them enough. Also, by the way, breakaway, follow Duty Ron because he is giving updates on the Maddie Soto case, him and Ed. They're going to be talking about the forensics involved. He just did an episode about the new updates with the recent murder charges. Finally, that's our other news. Stephen Stearns has finally been charged with murder. Hey, and guess what, everyone? She wasn't pregnant. All you hilarious psychics who think you're so brilliant, who want to exploit her case. You people are pieces of shit. She's a child. Fuck you. Ugh. How dare you? None of them were right, of course. But you know who is right? Frequently, because they have experience. A Duty Ron and Duty Ed. Go listen to them. They're covering the updates on this case. They went through last night, actually, as I record this. Or tonight, technically. It's going to be last night when you see this. Maybe even the night after. I don't know. It might be 2 days. Go to their page. Watch Duty Ron break down everything in the search warrant. It's incredible. He's got a lot of good information. Next bit of news. Not so much news, but to me, it's news. I'm going to break away for a second. I don't typically promote or talk about or enjoy family channels. I'm going to be honest with you. Hold on. Sip time. Delicious. Starbucks. Get you some. I'm not into family channels. I'm just not. You know, Micah Stauffer, creep. Piece of shit. How dare you, ma'am? How dare you? Give me Huxley. Because you suck. Ruby? What's her name? Ruby Tuesdays and Jody?
Dementors! They were flying all over the place and they were scary, and then they come down and they suck the soul out of your body, and it hurts!
Fuck them. I don't like their family channel either. All these family channels end up being pretty big creeps. But, I don't believe in all absolutes. You know what I mean? That makes no sense. I don't absolutely believe in absolutes. I don't know what I just did there. I'm having a meltdown in my head. There's always a good one somewhere. I think there's a little, even in the darkness, you can find a beam of light. And let me tell you something. Your New Zealand family on YouTube is that beam. They started around the pandemic, maybe a little pre. And it's just a family of New Zealanders learning about America. And it makes me feel kind of proud to be an American. Makes me feel good when they try a maple jam from Tennessee and they go, oh my God, what? When they have Thanksgiving dinner. Because they don't have, ooh, my dog's snoring. Because they don't have Thanksgiving over there. They don't have fucking dogs that snore that loud either. They are amazed by everything America. They got to visit America recently. I just love their channel. It's literally a family who exists to try American things and ooh and awe over our culture while we sit back and complain about our culture. And it's kind of nice to see somebody go, wow, they're so lucky. And it reminds me of how lucky we are sometimes. Even though shit is shit here compared to all of us by standards, especially in the all we do is look at crime all the time. Shit. Of course we're miserable. They are so wholesome. It's like if Flight of the Conchords had children and were extremely educated. And I don't know how to explain. They're perfect. We need to protect them. And the dad came out with a true crime episode. It's not really true crime. Listen, I'll just read you the title. I was interrogated in the murder of Meredith Kircher. Is Amanda Knox guilty or innocent? First of all, side thought, a double sidetrack. She's totally fucking innocent. I happen to not only know, but believe that for a fact. How do you know Kat? I know people who know her. 2 of them, actually, that know her very well. And I have obsessed over this case. There's only one person that I have not been able to figure out who the fuck they're talking about in the few records that I can get that are in English and the hundreds of pages I had to translate from Italian. And I don't speak Italian. So God knows what she could have had a confession in there. Let's be honest. I wouldn't have seen it. But I'm telling you, I've been over this case. I know it pretty freaking well. There's one person, actually technically 2, that I could never really figure out who these people were that they were referencing about interviewing. Acquaintances of Rudy and also one of them of Amanda. And I think it was this guy. I think it was New Zealand family dad. He was there playing soccer or footy or whatever the fuck they call it in Perugia, Italy. They literally, he lived there. He knew them. He was interrogated because Rudy used to come chill at their house. Rudy, by the way, is the person who killed Meredith Kircher via DNA evidence. Italia. Oblivious coming through. Sorry for my oblivious moment, you guys. They treated her so inhumanely. There was a lot of sex-based innuendo, satanic ritual. Like, the buzz was not good for her. There were a lot of people involved in that process that kind of took advantage of Americans' naivety about how things work there. She trusted a lot of people to understand her beyond the language breakdown, I think, who did not have her best interests at heart and saw her as a harlot, if you will. New Zealand dad was interrogated in that case. Blows my mind. I watched it 4 times. And honestly, it's just fun seeing this guy reconnect with where he grew up and went to college and show his family for the first time. It's so great. I cannot recommend that episode enough. Okay, I have a serious update here. David Solomon. Scammer. Grifter. I mean, I'll say it. You know, bonk to you, sir. He is on a tear exploiting the Madeline Soto case. And not just her. Now, apparently, he was part of the sex trafficking ring that had to do with Madeline Soto, Sebastian Rogers, Summer Wells. He has managed to make all these recent missing and murdered children's cases about him, so that him and his loser asshole wife can mooch off of their fake sex trafficking story, taking your donations through an idiot named Steven who legally helped David change his name. Oh, we have the receipts, honey. I did my FOIA requests. I went and I did my public records requests on you. This man was wanted and arrested. No, this man was arrested for assault by the Laurel Police Department in Maryland because he assaulted someone. He assaulted a woman, and not just there, somewhere else too, in California. We got the receipts, baby. Now, this isn't the episode for that, but I'm letting you know right now, if you want those receipts, if you want to know where they are, I know where they are. If you have been taken advantage of and you need to press charges against these assholes, I know where they are. They're not as smart as they think they are. No, they were not sex trafficked. Him, old grifter boy, and his little wife owe a lot of money in a lot of places. He's mooching off of her. Not only is he taking advantage of her and lying about everything that has to do with his past. Sir, you did not write for Smallville during the writer's strike on a season that was not in pre or post-production. It had happened many years before. No, you did not. You didn't do that, sir. You do not ghostwrite for Justin Bieber. You can't spell basic words right. Somehow he's managed, somehow it's pretty easy. He has easily managed to take advantage of not only a vulnerable child, by the way, he calls himself dad to his girlfriends, who also is a scam artist in her own right. He calls himself dad to her son. And these two psychopaths are taking a baby on the road out of school. They got a little boy that they're exploiting on a YouTube channel. He makes freaky deaky teen fanfic sex fantasy novels about teens while claiming to be sex trafficked his entire life, claiming to see Joe Biden shoot people in the face and Mike Pence murder babies, while also claiming to be an FBI informant and Justin Bieber's buddy and friends with Selena Gomez. We went through all this. This sick fuck is back at it on multiple massive platforms. And not only is he doxing innocent people who have told him to leave them alone, he is doing it under a pseudonym, and he's also actively using a dating site while he mooches off his girlfriend, who he calls his wife. Here is the profile. Did I verify that it was him through technical means? Yes, I did. Do I have his IP addresses? Yes, I do. These are public records, baby. Nothing illegal about it. Got your data, bud. This is you. This is you. This isn't the guy you claim. He claims it's a guy named Brian, who he, by the way, has been harassing for over a decade now, it seems. It's crazy. This grifter is in Florida trying to get pussy on a Christian dating site. And I never use that word, but damn. Call it what it is. He's trying to slut around and be a hoochie coochie in Hudson, Florida 1 week, and now they're in California. They took the kid there. He probably couldn't get enough dates on his Christian site there. In Florida, they had to go to Cali. So now they're in Cali, and they're taking Amazon donations from you who feel bad for them because you believe their stories of sex trafficking. Guess what? None of it's true.
This video needs to get made. We are survivors of human trafficking. And this is exactly why Maddie Soto didn't get the chance to speak out. And if she did get the chance to speak out, this would have happened to her too.
Bitch, shut the fuck up!
I've compiled a huge paper trail with public records, court documents, and even body cam, bitch. And it'll be coming out soon. Because these people are destroying lives of strangers. and they don't deserve to have a child, let alone are they capable of taking care of a child. They are grifting right now. They are living out of hotels off of her income. I'm very passionate about this because I hate it when people exploit victims and they are exploiting actual cases. Notice nowhere in that evidence discovery document for Stephen Stearns did it say shit about this motherfucker being involved. So yeah, earmuffs. I should have said that earlier, but fuck this douchebag. If you are one of his victims who he is doxing, harassing, going on conspiracy theorist Florida bitches TikToks and spreading personal information of yours, do you want his so you can sue him? I'll give it to you, babe. I'll give you his legal name by court records. What a loser. What a jerk. He made Madeline Soto's case about him and he exploited it and made money off of it. It's so gross. He's still doing it. He's still doing it. This is an adult with a puka shell necklace. Get over yourself, sir. Okay, in other news, Midtown Jane Doe finally ID'd, everybody. Thanks to partly an eerie twist, 20 years after remains found in cement in former New York City hotspot. This PMCG ring was pretty popular for a while. It was a way that people could kind of associate this particular case. It was a very strange case that happened out of New York, and that was also attributed to one of the cases on our map for the Lisk killings in that area. We basically took her and mapped her in that group on the Lisk video where I was talking to Melanie about how there were all these other cases in the New York area that were similar. This was one of them. Boom, it's been solved. She's been ID'd. We're going to go more into that on a later video, but take a look at this. Go look at the article. I'm going to post it below. I usually hate posting New York Post, but they did dead ass get this one, so I'm going to give it to them. But yeah, this is a big find. This was a very tricky case, and it reeks of mafia. Let's just say that. It reeks of mafia. It's a very interesting case. Also, if you didn't know, they're looking at Maynardville, and guess what roads they're looking at? They're looking at Schultz Road, and they're looking at another very special road. It's called Silas Carter Road. If that rings a bell, it's probably because you paid attention to John Bitteroff, ladies and gentlemen. He's back. He has been having a lot of different court cases recently, and back and forth, just like Rex, but his is because of appeals. He is appealing his conviction as the serial killer that he is. I firmly believe he is guilty. I'm just going to put that out there. I do have bias because I have been spending a long time researching him too, even pre-Rex, and a lot recently, especially with some of the information that's come out about these searches that are going on in Maynardville. As I look more into the cases of like Valerie Mack and Jessica Taylor, which prior to a couple of years ago, we didn't actually know their identities. So now that we know them, searching into their past, it has taken a while. It's a lot, ladies and gentlemen. It is a lot. And I have no doubt that Bitteroff is 100% involved in the cases he's already charged for. But I do think possibly some more because Silas Carter Road is not only where he lived, it's where they are actively searching. They do have reason to believe there's body parts there, and is very close to the proximity of where the body parts of the two women not only ended up here in Maynardville, but also on the beach in Gilgo. There are a lot of connecting issues about this crime scene that tend to get brushed off like, oh, but the DNA lab. Don't worry. I got all that tea. I did my request. I put them in order. I read the story. I've literally seen every single internal investigation report that is every IA and IR report that there is for that lab. I've seen it. Every audit, I've seen it. And I'm telling you, it's not what it looks like. A lot of people are saying, oh, well, there's this guy, Teddy Hart. Ironic because there's another piece of shit named Teddy Hart that I cover a case of. But this Teddy Hart, this officer, is who people like to blame, but it's way more complicated than that. These women who were attributed to Bitteroff died within 30 minutes of having sex. Okay? So, due to that timing and him ejaculating onto them, it would seem to me that him being the last person they had sex with and them dying within 30 minutes of having these fluids put upon them. I mean, that alone is enough to just, okay, that makes sense. But there's so much more. There's so much more. And I firmly, firmly believe that's what these searches are about. I think I called Melanie. I did. I called Melanie when I saw they were searching. And I straight up was like, it's Bitteroff. And she said I was right. And it felt good because I think it's him. Something's up here. I think it could be Sandra Castilla. I think that it also could have something to do. It definitely has something to do with Valerie and Jessica. Now, whether or not they're connected to him or not, I don't know. But I also have reason to believe, I think that there is reason to believe there could be one or two more. There are some other missing persons in that area that really strike me as strange cases. Anyway, we're going to wrap this up. Vince McMahon has still not come out with his freaking statement. He said he's going to come out with a freaking statement. He hasn't come out with a freaking statement. But you know what he did come out with? He came back to the States with puppies. After going into hiding, post-complaint from Janelle Grant going public, he has now apparently flipped and is with Johnny Ace. I don't know. I guess they're cool now. I get. If you don't know about that case, he sexually assaulted a woman allegedly and pooped in her hair with Vince in the office, among other things, among a lot of other horrific things. And I told you I was going to cover it and put it all in layman's terms after reading that long ass complaint of 67 pages I read, you guys. No opinions, just straight up court paperwork, so you can vibe to my vocal fry on your way to work in the morning. But it was disturbing. It took a lot out of me. I was depressed for a while because I used to think Vince was sick as fuck, and now I'm like, ooh. You know, I kind of knew that there was something up, but a lot of things in the past. We'll get into it. We're going to talk about the whole history of all this stuff. But I wanted to get that video out for you. It's done. It is done. But Wrestling Observer report, not the most reliable in wrestling, but a few other outlets, including one that I used to work for, they all have said, hey, look, something's coming out. Vince said he's going to make a statement. And then he showed up with puppies. He gave these puppies away. Now, what? So right now, I'm looking into this. He sold a bunch of stocks. He says he's going to fight this. I mean, there's pretty good evidence with those text messages. If you didn't listen, go back and listen. Johnny Ace, his cohort. The Bella Twins' mother's, Kathy's husband. Who, by the way, Kathy had a fucking brain tumor while this douchebag was shitting in a woman's hair and assaulting her because he was too scared to stand up to his boss, according to him. Bullshit. Allegedly. Bullshit. And Kathy, fucking Nikki and Bree's mom, Bree Mode, their mother, the Bella Twins' mother, had brain cancer, riddled with it. Her life was rough. She was suffering. And this man, who she had just married, you guys, she had just married. They were so lovey-dovey on Total Bellas. This man went to work and texted with his boss to send this woman over against her will so that he could essentially assault her, allegedly rape her. I hate using that word too, but those are the allegations in the complaint that seem to be backed up with a ton of digital forensic evidence, which you know I love and I stand by. Brian Kohberger is guilty, allegedly. Anyway, you can't hide that shit. With the, people are so attached to their phones, especially these corporate CEO types, and especially this new generation, and even my generation, and millennials. Like, everybody's so attached to their phone that taking it away has been found in court to be a human rights violation in some family court cases that I recently watched. What? People are so attached to their phone, Apple data can tell them when they fart. Like, how is your blood sugar doing today? I'll tell you, I'm a phone. If people don't have their phones on them, where's the phone? Who has it? It's your cell phone. It doesn't stay in one spot at the house. It goes with you. Unless it was stolen and reported stolen, which if you reported stolen, you probably get a new one and get a new number, right? Phones can be traced to people almost, in my opinion, like DNA. I consider your phone your digital lifeline, your digital DNA. Especially if you are in one of those subgroups I priorly mentioned. Is priorly a word? I don't know. I'm amped up. I drank a lot of coffee today.
I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew.
The point is, Kathy was suffering. She had brain cancer. She had a brain surgery. And this piece of shit, her new husband, gets wrapped up in this.
Now that's fucked up.
In this mess. In sexcapades. Screw you, Vince. for doing this, allegedly. Anyway, they blurred him out of all WWE television in an attempt to just erase him. And that was it. That was like, we were going to go all the way back through all the scandals, and we did. I made you this video, and guess what? Puppies? He brought puppies.
Release the kitties.
And he said, I'm going to speak on this. I have a statement. He put out with his lawyers that he was planning on fighting this. He would say more eventually. He would put out a longer statement, but that he didn't do it. The statement was supposed to come in this past week. Haven't heard anything. Snorg. My dog's snorging. So if we don't hear anything in the next 2 days, I'm just going to put it out and we'll just have to do an update and add on or something later because I want to hurry up and tell you about this shit. Okay, so this is one more news story I have to tell you about. This is an update on the Babylon body parts case, aka, as Melanie calls it, the Amityville House of Horrors 2.0 or whatever. Man, let me tell you something. That was crazy. And these people were so dumb. Not only because obviously it's dumb to do what they did, but the fact that they were so sloppy about it was crazy to me. Glad they were, obviously. They all got caught. It was 4 people in Babylon, New York. One of them was arrested for stealing eyelashes and nail polish from a CVS. And that would be Amanda Wallace, who was 40 years old. She got out on bail for literally chopping up. Well, she chopped up a body and disseminated it around a park so children could find it outside of a school. Gross. And double ew and rude. And she did this, and it's so sad. The poor families in court had to sit there and watch these people get bond. This is insane. They should have been in jail to begin with, but no, she didn't end up getting hard time for chopped up bodies. Again, across the street from a school, in a school zone, shouldn't that be like double murder? It doesn't matter. The point is, this dumb dingus dummy has the luxury, the utter luxury, the unbelievable, unfair, frankly, luxury of getting bail from this heinous crime. And guess what puts her back? Guess what does put her in jail and gives her some hard time? Guess what put her away longer than chopping someone up? Stealing eyelashes and nail polish from a CVS.
No, if you think prison is so wonderful, then enjoy prison.
They are such babies. I am going to leave them in there until they can appreciate what it's like to have freedom.
It wasn't even the good shit, ladies and gentlemen. She didn't steal from a Sephora. She didn't even have the dignity to go with some fucking Bare Minerals at Walmart. No. She went to CVS. What was it, like NYC? What is wrong with you, ma'am? Ew. What is wrong with them for putting her away over trashy makeup from a CVS? Which, by the way, I wear trashy makeup. It's not about that. It's the fact that if you're on bail and if you're gonna do a double dirty, at least make it fucking worth your while. I mean, don't steal to begin with, but if you're going to, while monitored at the ankles, ma'am, with her ankle monitor on, you're gonna go steal from a CVS? Jesus. Bad form. All of it. I'm against her. I don't like her. So yeah, she's back. She's back. Shady's back. She's in jail because she stole from a CVS. Not because she chopped a guy up, because she stole from a CVS while out on bail. Not only that, but all 4 suspects, by the way, they have all been officially charged with, I believe it's robbery and second-degree murder for 2 of them. So 4 of them, there was they've got the tampering with evidence charge. We finally got 2 second-degree murder charges, and we've got the robbery charges in conjunction. How this all pans out, and whether they have named the alleged... They made it sound like there was potentially another person involved, and then never said anything. How that's going to pan out, I don't know. But I know that this bitch stole from a CVS. She stole makeup, and that's what got her back in jail. You can't win. You can't win with these people. This is insane. The news is terrible. What else? This has been a Boston heavy week for me. I've been watching a lot of The Departed. The Departed with booze. The Departed with class. The declotted? Declotted. That sounds gross. I can't stop thinking about the Karen Reed case. I can't. It really is. It is the departed with White Claws and Trulies. It's modern Zima is what we call it, by the way. I've put that in chat a few times. I've tried to put that in every chat I can. Stop calling it White Claw. Call it modern Zima. Because that's what it is. It's just, it's Gen Zima. That's what it is. It's Gen Zima drinks. It's supposed to be, isn't it like, I don't drink. Here's a little fun fact for me. I drank when I was 16. I had like 2 Austin Powers Shagadelic shakers. Nothing fucking weird about it, but I had to. I got really sick. I tried to climb a tree. I did a lot that night. I don't think my parents saw half of it, but they saw in the morning when they had to pick my ass up off the couch and drag me as I was vomiting constantly. Got into college, didn't really drink maybe but once other than that. I faked having a beer with lemon in it to make the kids at my high school like me. It made me sick and it made me incredibly wasted right away. Got to college. Discovered that every time I drank, I would get hives all over my face. So I started just taking Benadryl. And I would drink Benadryl because I saw in a book called Dry by Augustin Burroughs. Check it out. He wrote Running with Scissors. Not a healthy way to live. I didn't like the booze. I never enjoyed myself. I didn't like the taste of any of it. 1 or 2, I'd be shit hammered. I would get alcohol poisoning very quickly. I would vomit buckets for days. And I would get hives after the Benny wore off the Benadryl. It's not a healthy way to live. So what I would do is I would get mocktails when I'd go to my favorite bar and literally pretend to drink so I felt cool as an adult. So if you're ever ashamed of doing pitiful shit like that, I literally faked drinking casually because I just was like, I can't just be the weird person in the bar with water doing my homework. I also didn't want to drive everyone home all the time. I mean, I'd offer if I could, but you know, when all your friends are drinking and strangers are asking you for rides, it's like, damn. And sometimes I didn't take a car. So it's like, well, what do you do here? Just don't drink. I'm very outspoken. Didn't have the willpower to go, nah, don't drink. I don't like it. Because then you have to answer all these questions. What are you, an alcoholic? Did you go to AA? It's like, no. It gives me hives. Let me see. And then you get hives to show them. Or I'd be so easily drunk, I would sip on a drink for like 2 hours and just be wasted. I don't know why I'm talking about this. The point is we had a lot of messed up drinks back in the day. I'm not a drinker. I haven't had a drink in like 10 years as far as booze goes, I don't think. I think I tasted a White Claw and I almost gagged. I cannot imagine the amount of claws these people are throwing back, dude. Dedham is full of dead-ass drunks. How is Karen the only one getting charged with a DW? I could go on. Does Officer Bukaki drink and drive? I don't know. Anyway. Okay, let's move on. We gotta move on. I really want to keep talking about booze. I find it fascinating that people even drink at all. Like, that they enjoy. Zimas were literally cool kid shit. And then there was Smirnoff. There was Sky Vodka, which was, that was like, there's Sky Vodka and Fratty Natty, which is Natural Light, if you don't know. Those were the frat boy shits. What was the other stuff? Orange Jubilee? If you've ever had, what was that? Mad Dog 2020? Steel Reserves? Boone's Farm? We used to call it Bone Farm? I remember when Fuzzy Navels were a thing. You guys don't have that now. You have your fucking White Claws. Gotta pause for the claws, right? All those people in that case are wasted. They're all drunk.
Mark! I can't believe how drunk you are.
I am not drunk.
Yes, you are.
I am not fucking drunk.
Can you tell the time?
Yes. I am not fucking drunk.
And they call the dog it and the dog. Her name's Chloe. Say her name. Say her name. Her name is Chloe. Say Chloe's name. Was Chloe drunk? Where was Chloe? Was Chloe drunk in the closet, Mr. and Mrs. Albert? This guy, I'm losing sleep. I'm getting up too early. I have to watch it. I'm addicted to this family. They are the Bluths. Every true crime family to me is the Bluths. There's always a Lucille. There's always a Baby Buster. Baby Brian would be Baby Buster. Put below what you, like, who, if you watch Arrested Development, who is which character in the Albert clan? I mean, Caitlin would have to be Lindsay, right? Lucille would definitely be, what's her name, Julie? No, aren't they all named Julie? It's so much. All right, that has been your true crime news and cold case updates for the week. That's what's been going on. Watch Karen Reed's case if you want to get really pissed off. Look for that missing twin if you're in Texas. And pay attention to Duty Ron as he goes over the Stephen Stearns affidavit and, I should say the discovery documents as they come out. And yeah, keep those cases in mind. And thank you for watching. The next video I post is going to be the tools video on how to use freebie tools to try and solve cold cases. And then we're going to do the full history of Vince McMahon allegedly being a big old pervy dickhead. So thank you for watching my channel. You can click like and subscribe down below. You can donate a coffee to my dog who drinks so much coffee, you guys. So donate to that. He doesn't drink coffee. I drink the coffee. But also, thank you so much, and follow all the creators I mentioned earlier. And please tell me your thoughts below. And if there's any cases that you want to cover, let me know. And also, don't forget Beth Ellen Vincent's podcast. Go follow Matt and co. And yeah, check that out. New episodes coming out. I think they're on like episode 3 or 4. I could be wrong, but yeah, go check it out. I'm trying to catch up too, and it's going to be a good one. So thank you so much. Be safe. Bliss.
I hope that this scared you. And from me, Prison Mike, to you, I just want to thank you for listening to me and letting me be a part of your life today. Because you got a good life. You got a good life. A good life.